me just make sure my microphone is working. Kombaru, hello. Hello, Rabiel. Welcome. We're going to be doing some level grinding. Because we need to beat up, what's his name? We gotta go beat up that guy. And last time we tried beating him up, it didn't go so well. So we need to make our girls a little stronger. So that's what we're gonna do. I hope that people are okay with me doing that. Please don't get too bored. All right. Chat, where'd you go? There you are. Okay. Hi. All right. So, I'm assuming. Oh, we can go back, right? Yeah, we can. It looks like it. Can we encounter enemies in this area? I'm assuming. There we go. Dark Knight. Glad you're being vague, because I've been kind of in and out of these to avoid some spoilers, I guess. Though, since it's mostly in Japanese, my understanding is kind of impaired anyway, lol. To be fair, it is very hard to keep track of what's going on in a story when you don't know the language. Especially because, like, the story of 10-2, it goes some places. It goes some places you might not expect. Even if you are familiar with Final Fantasy X. And personally, I think that the places that it goes make perfect sense for the story of 10. Even though I'm not a fan of Motomu Toriyama as a director, I do think the story of 10 and 10-2 is really good, despite his typical directing style. I don't think we can run into enemies in this area. But I know there is a puzzle here we can do. I don't remember how to do it. There's like a treasure chest up there that I think we can get. How do we get on here? Hello, Incendo. Thank you for calling me adorable. That's very nice of you. Let me on! I want the treasure chest. Come on. Come on. Let me on. Let me on. Let me on. Let me on. Okay, I'm bored. I might try to figure out how to get that treasure chest before we actually go fight Barreleye again. But for now, we're just going to work on level grinding. Oh, no. Oh, okay. As long as that's all we gotta do. Now we're just gonna run in circles in here for a while. Come on, give me a battle. But, like I was saying, I'm not a fan of Motomu Toriyama storytelling. As I'm sure people will find not at all surprising given my opinion on Final Fantasy 13. But, I do like the story in 10 and 10-2. I think it helps that he was not the only director on 10, and I don't think he was the only director on 10-2 either. Um, but, so there's a lot of things I like about 10 and 10.2 that mitigate some of the 13ness that it does unfortunately have that I dislike. But even if you're familiar with the events of Final Fantasy X, the stuff that happens in this game is not exactly what you would immediately expect. It has a pretty different tone in a lot of ways. But I do believe that it makes sense and works and is fun. Like, you kind of have to come up with you kind of have to excuse it in some ways, or just, you know, I guess the best way to go about it is something that I've seen a couple people say about other Japanese media, which is that you have to remember that, like, in a lot of ways when we interact with Japanese media and Japanese fiction, we go into it with certain expectations based on, like, what we've learned about good storytelling according to, like, what we consider good storytelling in the West, and, like, how we tend to define what is good storytelling. And one of the things that we tend to talk up a lot in the West is the idea of tonal consistency, and, you know, not letting certain things happen in your story if they seem like they are not consistent with the general tone. And how a lot of Japanese media doesn't necessarily put as much emphasis on that, and in a way that's almost more realistic if you think about it, because real life is not tonally consistent. A story being tonally consistent is something that we expect of stories specifically because they're not real, and Japanese fiction does that as well in different aspects. It's just that Japanese fiction and Western fiction place emphasis on the realism of different aspects of the story, and in Japanese fiction, the tonal inconsistency is just more common in the West, whereas tonal inconsistency is a lot more common in Japanese stuff, especially Japanese nerd stuff, because they tend to take inspiration from a lot of really disparate sources. So you'll be playing Final Fantasy X, and it's a very dour, very melancholy, a very sad story about, you know, coming to terms with the fact that your life is not infinite. It's going to end someday. Coming to terms with the fact that even if you do manage to make a positive impact in the world, you know, you're not going to live to see all of it. You're going to affect positive change, but then most people aren't going to even remember you even existed. And in the process of doing it, you're also going to end up coming face to face with a bunch of things that, like, in your lifetime, you know, make your life very difficult because people think you're wrong, and it's very, you know, and also there's a lot of elements of tradition because it's a very religious universe, and a very, you know, technology's bad and all this stuff. And then after you finish that game, you jump into Final Fantasy X-2, and all of a sudden the main character is literally being a pop star. All of a sudden technology is everywhere. And like, it just, everything feels a lot more jovial, everything's a lot more silly, everything is a lot more lighthearted, and it feels like the culture has changed in a lot of ways that it seems like, oh well, this seems like it happened so quickly. Is it supposed to happen, I think, 2 years after Final Fantasy X? I think it's supposed to be it's supposed to be like 1 year or 2 years. It's supposed to be very short. It's not a long time. But and it, when you first experience it, it does feel really weird. But as you go through X-2 and the layers start to peel back, not only does it start to reveal that it's, you know, it's the topic of the game is a lot heavier than it appears. It's just kind of disguised as something a lot more silly. But the fact that everything has a much happier tone it's not as weird as it initially seems when you consider what has actually happened in the society since the events of the first game. Because, like, in the first game, the world was literally constantly, every year, suffering, like, this catastrophic event where, you know, hundreds of people would die because of this creature that existed because of the god that everyone was told to worship. And that god that everyone was told to worship also said, technology bad, everyone has to hate technology, no one use technology. Also, here's a giant murder whale that's going to show up every year and murder a bunch of people. And at the end of Final Fantasy X, the first one, you fix that. That's no longer a thing now. And so it kind of makes sense that in a very short period of time, society would change pretty drastically, because, like, a lot changed in a matter of like a couple hours while you defeated the murder whale and God at the same time. So now the murder whale will never come back. And also, the god that's been telling everyone that you're not allowed to use technology is also not a thing anymore. So it's just, it's not as weird, because unlike in real life, like, because the god and the murder whale and all that stuff are physical things that are appearing in the world and causing change in the world, once they're defeated, it's not like a nebulous concept being defeated where it takes, you know, hundreds of years for a social change to happen. They're literal physical things that people see. So, like, when they are removed from the picture, the change is a lot more immediate. Please heal her. No! God damn it. Phoenix. Down, please. God damn it. Oh well. Now use Phoenix. No, don't do it. Don't you dare do it. Don't kill her. Okay. Anyway, sorry that I'm rambling about why I think Final Fantasy X and X-2 are much more clever than, probably even than they're intended to be. Because I don't think the developers were thinking all that hard when they made it. It's just, it's a very happy accident. That, in my opinion, makes Final Fantasy X and X-2, when consumed together as if they were a single thing, into one of the better Final Fantasy experiences, despite the fact that I think both games have a lot of flaws. But that's also kind of why I like taking them both in at the same time. Because I feel like the flaws in 10 and the flaws in 10-2 are different. You are an inanimate object. You should not be able to oversoul. You shouldn't have a soul. I hate you. You wake up one day to find the demon whale and the god you've been praying to your whole life are just gone, and now your religion means nothing. Yeah, exactly. Like, part of the plot of this game is that there is a group of people who are like, no, but we kind of still like the religion, even though we know that the god isn't a thing anymore, and also we accept that there were flaws in the religion, but we're going to try to make a new version of the religion that only has the positive aspects. And then there's another group of people who are like, but no, we have to completely abandon everything about it, and we have to intentionally go out of our way to avoid anything that it remotely resembles that old religion. And you are kind of forced into choosing a side, which is why even if you manage to get 100% quote unquote, like in your story completion and get the perfect ending in a single playthrough, you still haven't actually seen all of the story. There's actually like 120, I think it's like 127% that you can get in total, but you have to do multiple playthroughs in order to get it. Because the way that this game gauges how much progression you've done is weird and doesn't make any sense. Oh, shit. Wrong person. Oh, but thank God he missed. What did you just do to yourself? Oh, thank God. I guess technically it does disperse fireflies when it's killed, so it must have some spiritual element to it. How are your guys' abilities doing? You're leveling up Gunner. Multi-shot. You're still leveling up White Mage. You know what? You're gonna learn Esuna. That way we can have two girls who have access to Esuna when we fight what's-his-name. Because if he keeps casting Stop on us, we're gonna need some way to mitigate that. Train. Bio. What does this say? Let's find out. Where'd my mouse go? Hello, mouse. A lot of damage. Is this saying that, like, it'll do a lot of damage to an enemy, but also the user disappears from battle? I think that's what it's saying. Yep. Okay, that's... Deeple just confirmed it. That is, in fact, what it is saying. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother learning that, because that's not super useful. What about this one? What's this one? This one is called... Error occurred. Fuck you. Copy it. Error occurred. Okay, fine. What is it? What ability? What does it do? What does it do? Defends against poison. Well, that's useful. Now, what does this one do? What are you called? Oh my God. It defends against... I'm assuming cause is curse? Riku as a white mage is low-key cursed, lol. I understand why people think that. Someone else said that in chat last time. Personally, I don't think of it as like a super religious thing. Because, like, I had played other Final Fantasies before I played Final Fantasy X, and in the previous ones, White Mage wasn't as closely related to, like, religious themes as it became in the first Final Fantasy X. Because, you know, Yuna's a summoner in the first one, and summoners are, you know, important to the religion, and she's also a White Mage. She's like a dual White Mage summoner in the first one. So that kind of made White Mage more of a religious thing in the first Final Fantasy X, but in a lot of the older Final Fantasy X, it wasn't as closely like tied to that. Like, when you see her as a magic user, if anything is cursed, it says BGM. Like, what is this? Silent Hill meets Final Fantasy. That's what I said that last time. I like this music because it does sound like Final Fantasy meets Silent Hill, and I like both of those things, so that is a combination I like. But anyway, I'm assuming Kaz means curse, so that probably protects against curse, since the other one protects against poison. Is this where I get my Taco Bell order? Personally speaking, I don't think my stomach could handle Taco Bell right now. Battle. Battle, start. Battle. Battle. There we go. No, not that thing. Oh, God. Come on, kill everything quickly, please. But also keep your health up. But also kill it quickly, because otherwise that thing can turn us to stone, and that's bad. We really don't need that. At least I think it can turn us to stone. It could in 10. Can it do it in 10 too? Because I know a lot of the enemies like use the same model as they do in 10. but they like function completely. Okay, nope, it's still able to do that. God damn it. She doesn't have Esuna yet. I don't even know if Esuna cures stone. This is one thing about Final Fantasy that even in the older Final Fantasies, I did not like, is that it's always really inconsistent. Like, what enemies can do and can't do, and what Esuna can cure and can't cure, and all that stuff. Like, that's one thing, something I appreciate about Pokemon is that it tends to be a lot more consistent. Paint saw Twitter and turned into stone. I mean, I turn to stone anytime I see Twitter too. Also, goddamn, that TikTok ban bullshit that's going on. Like, I hate TikTok, and if it was just a matter of, you know, TikTok being wiped from the face of the earth, then I'd totally be down for it. But like, I know how our country is, and I know what they're trying to actually do with the bill, which is the same thing they keep trying to do every fucking year. And I don't understand why we have to keep doing this. Why do we have to keep fighting for just the same? It's so annoying. It's really annoying. Why did you turn her to stone again? Why her specifically? Do you hate her? I saw a bit of it talk about Monkey's Paw. Yeah, it's really... it's annoying. It's especially bad because it's like, A, of course they're trying to use it to like completely control everything about the internet. It's not, they're calling it a TikTok ban, but it affects everything across every website and every web service. You know, if you use a VPN, it affects that. It's fucking terrible. Everything about it is terrible. But even then, like, as much as I hate TikTok, the reason I hate TikTok is not because of the app functionality itself. I mean, it kind of is, but it's more about, you know, the ideas that people spread through it. And while those ideas are somewhat influenced by the functionality of the app, it's not... like, banning the app isn't going to make those ideas go away. People are just going to spread them through another means. So, as much as I hate TikTok, it's like... oh, shit. Wrong one. As much as I hate TikTok, there's no point in me trying to advocate for banning it, because banning TikTok would not make the things I hate about TikTok go away. Is Payne's resistance to stone low? She's the only one that has been turned into stone this and last stream. I think the other girls got turned to stone in the last stream. I think it's just the RNG is bad right now. I know in 10, I'm assuming it's probably the same in 10 too, but when they made the HD remaster, there's some issues with the remaster where the RNG is a lot more consistent and limited, which apparently makes it much easier for people who want to do what's it called? God, I can't remember the term right now. Fuck. What's the word? What is it called? When people try to beat a game as quickly as possible. God, what's the term? Speedrun. That's what it is. Yes, speedrun. Makes it a lot easier to speedrun the game if you're playing the HD remaster, because you can more accurately predict what the RNG is going to do. But I feel like it probably is responsible for the fact that a lot of the times it seems like enemies keep targeting the same things over and over. Which, to be fair, they do also have some element of AI in terms of like determining who would be the most optimal target to hit, but especially with a game like this, the AI wasn't particularly advanced. It was mostly just some enemies would attack the opponent who has the lowest HP, and some of them would do other things. One of my favorites from a game from this era being, what's his name? I can't think of his name right now, but there's a character in Final Fantasy VII who, anytime you fight him, he will refuse to attack Tifa unless she is like the only character on the battlefield. He will not attack Tifa. Baloo forgot what speedrunning is. I didn't forget what it is, I forgot what it's called, because if you guys haven't realized by now, I tend to forget words a lot, which makes learning a second language really fucking hard. Is it rude? I think it's rude. Yeah, it's one of the Turks, but I forget his name. One of the male Turks, obviously, not what's her name. She doesn't have a crush on Tifa. We should probably go to the save point just to heal. Take us to the save point. I don't. Because I just remember the joke from Team 4 Star's FF7 Machina Bridged, where he has a crush on her. Who's Tifa? Shut the fuck up, Onyx. You know who Tifa is. Riku's victory animation when she's a white mage is one of the funniest animations I've seen in this game. I love it so much. Oh, don't tell me I have to redo the whole puzzle again now. That's so annoying. It said that she got an ability, but it wasn't... It did. That's why it wouldn't. Son of a bitch. There we go. I'm joking. I know who Tifa is. I'm not a normie. You know, that lady in KH2 looking like a spiky haired boy or whatever and then punch a bunch of walls. I don't think she looked like a spiky haired boy in KH2. Her bangs were kind of spiky, I guess. Pain. Or pine. I will never get used to that. Riku, do you have Asuna yet? She does. Good. And the girl is here, it is I. Welcome, SBT. Looking for Baloo. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misread that. I'm a stupid. Hey. Do I gotta climb on this one too? What does this one do? Oh, that's right. That's why it won't let me on. Let me on. I legit forgot about yesterday's stream. That's okay, SBT. It was a fun stream, but we unfortunately had some technical... Oops. We unfortunately had some technical difficulties while we were doing it. So we had to cut it a little short. We didn't get to stream for as long as we wanted to. When we run into battles in this area... Apparently not. Cut him some slack, Rabiel. He's 87. I wish I was that close to death. I probably shouldn't say that. That was a joke. Please understand that was a joke. I was reminded of the Hex Girls just now, and now I'm upset that a Rockstar dress sphere wasn't a thing. It wouldn't have worked so much for the gunner, but now I'm thinking, like, what if, like, all of the dress spheres were actually, like, musician-themed? And so, like, the punk rock dress sphere would be, like, this game's version of the Dark Knight. Or the Black Mage, or whatever. But then I don't know what dress sphere would be the gunner one, because obviously we still gotta have a gunner in here, since the whole Charlie's Angel theme hinges entirely on Yuna having a gun. He's one cute grandpa. Yeah, Baloo is my grandpa. Fact check. I canonically, I am all of your guys' brother. However that somehow works out. Like I said, I can be older or younger brother depending on your own personal preferences, but I don't think I'm anyone's grandpa or daddy or anything like that. Despite my proclivities that I have mentioned in the Brock stream. What if the dress spheres were them turning into different cars? No. No, thank you. A guitar that turns into a gun. You gave us the milk that one stream, so you can't be a dad. My brother can't be my grandpa? The new hit light novel series. I guess if there's a manga series called My Father is the Queen of All VTubers about a guy having the hots for a VTuber and then finding out that she's actually his dad pretending to be a girl on the internet, then all bets are off. That manga's really good, by the way. Y'all should read it. God damn it, Riku. We all know that fathers disappear if they touch milk. Is that how it works? I don't think that's how it works. We could have an Adolescence of Utena moment of girls turning into cars. I do love Adolescence of Utena. I believe I've already talked at length about loving Revolutionary Girl Utena. That's American lore. Come on, come on. It's not that dads can't touch milk. It's that fathers who are abandoning their families use I'm going to go buy milk as an excuse to leave and then not come back. Mine touched rice and he was sent to heaven. People transform into cars in Utena? No, people transform into cars in the movie, specifically. At the very end of the movie. Utena turns into a car. And it's only in the movie. Because the movie is a trip. The movie is very surreal, and it's very good. That one Brazilian lo-fi video suddenly makes sense. Is there a Brazilian lo-fi video using footage from Adolescence of Utena? Thanks to Utena, I finally know that I'm not gay. Is it because you didn't turn into a car yet? Anyway, moral of the story is, everyone should watch Revolutionary Girl Utena, then they should watch Adolescence of Utena, and then they should watch literally everything Kunihiko Ikuhara has ever done. Every season of Sailor Moon that he worked on, actually just watch all of the 90s Sailor Moon anime in general, but especially the parts that he worked on. And then watch all of his original series, like Sadazanmai and Yurikuma Arashi. I still need to watch Yurikuma Arashi. Mawaru Penguin Drum. I know there's the new Moaru Penguin Drum that's coming out or already came out, and I need to watch that. God, I love Ikuhara so much. I love everything he touches. He's so good. People do drive cars very dangerously in the show, though. That is true. The whole Utena turning into a car in the movie, it's not completely out of left field because cars are a metaphorical imagery in the TV series, but the fact that she turns into a car is something that only happens to her, only happens in the movie, which is kind of an alternate universe, but also kind of a sequel. And it only happens because the movie is a lot more dreamlike than the TV show. The TV show gets progressively more and more dreamlike as it goes, but the movie takes it to 11. Moral of the story is never drive shotgun with a guy named Akio. Not if you don't want to get molested. Yeah. Revolutionary Girl Utena is really good. And yeah, don't ever get in a car with a guy named Akio. In fact, if a guy is named Akio, you probably shouldn't trust him at all, because that's not exactly a trustworthy name. The movie is a sequel, a prequel, a continuation, and also not a movie. I mean, there is a manga that retells the story of the movie, only even weirder, because it literally ends with Utena and Anthy sitting in a movie theater having just watched the movie that stars themselves. Oh, hell yeah, enter his car. No, don't do that. Akio's not hot anyway. Like, I love Revolutionary Girl Utena, but one thing I can say negatively about it is that the art style is so shoujo that there is not a single sexy man in the entire series. Every guy in the show looks like an emaciated girl, and I'm not into it. But the story is so incredibly good. So incredibly good. Aki one letter away from being a molester. I don't watch it, that's why I'm not gay. You should watch it though, it's so good. Like, it starts out pretty slow, and compared to like most modern anime, where it's like most modern anime is like only 12 episodes long and then you're done, it can feel pretty long, but I'm used to anime being way longer, so I'm cool with it being 36 episodes. I think it's 36 or 39. It's 30 something. But it's really good. Really, really good. And also, yeah, if you're gay and you like Japanese shit, you should definitely watch it, because it's very gay and very Japanese. I literally cannot fully explain just how much I love Utena, like, because I would literally not be able to talk about anything else for the rest of the stream, and the stream would last for like 4 hours. There's so much that I love about Utena. It's so good. Most of the Utena guys are garbage anyway, except like I guess Miki and Mitsuru, but they are like dumb kiddos by comparison. To be fair, it's not just the guys in Utena. No one in Utena is really a good person, and that's kind of one of the important points of the show, is that like everyone has the potential to be a really shitty person because of the fact that all of us have suffered in some way, and all of us have the potential to use what we've suffered through to justify being bad to other people and telling ourselves that it's not as bad as what we went through, because like every character in Utena does that. Even the girls, everyone does. And the only female characters who don't intentionally do that are characters like Utena herself, who still hurt other people because they're dumb. Like, Utena is the closest that a female character can get to being a himbo, because a himbo and a bimbo are not the same thing, and it's not just the gender difference that makes them different. But much like a himbo, Utena is capable of doing shitty things and hurting people, but she doesn't do it intentionally. She's just really dumb. But all of the characters do it, even the female ones. Every character in Utena is kind of a shitty person, except for the characters who are, even by comparison to the other characters, supposed to be like young children. Because like all of the characters are supposed to be in like, I think it's like junior high school, even though they are drawn with like the bodies of like American supermodels. Like it's very in keeping with the visual style of Sailor Moon, where the characters are like, I'm 14 years old, but then they literally have the body of like an American adult supermodel. But even like the only characters who are less terrible, kind of, are, like you said, Mitsuru. And that's because Mitsuru is supposed to be in literal grade school. Like, he's literally so young that he does not understand a damn thing about what's going on. Does Utena have the scene with the same energy of the table scene? There are a lot of scenes in Utena that have the same energy as the table scene. In fact, when I saw the table scene from Code Geass for the first time, I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that there were other TV anime that went as far as Utena does. There's a lot of scenes in Utena that are very like the table scene. Not gonna lie, the blonde bitch who does the anime rich girl laugh in Utena should have suffered a lot. I hate her so much. I know who you're talking about, and realistically, yes. If she were a real person, I would agree with you, because she is one of the worst characters in the show. She literally murders a cat. She does so many horrible things to so many people around her in order to try and manipulate everyone around her so that she can pursue a sexual relation with her own brother, only for her to realize that she doesn't actually want to have a sexual relation with her own brother. She just wants to be more important to her brother than everyone else. She is a garbage human being, like more so than probably everyone else in the show. Except with the exception of Akio. Akio is by far the worst person. Like, he's just straight up the worst person. But I think the reason why Nanami feels as bad as she does is because she's like one of the worst people in Utena, who in many ways realistically resembles someone who we've probably all known in real life. Like, we've probably all remember a person very similar to Nanami at some point in our lives, like who we went to school with or something. Not necessarily wanting to like fuck their brother, but like everything else about her. But despite the fact that realistically I know that I would hate her as a real person, she's one of my favorite characters in the show just because of how funny she is. Like, it's ridiculous how much horribleness a character can get away with, and I will let it go if they make me laugh. And she makes me laugh more than any other character in a lot of shows, but especially in that show. So I let her slide because she cracks me up. And the fact that she does not exist in the movie aside from as a one-off joke makes me very sad, because I do still love the movie. The movie is really good, but I love Nanami and she cracks me up. And the fact that she looks so like 70s shoujo, like she was clearly designed to be like a pastiche of like very, very, very old shoujo manga. She cracks me up. I love Nanami so much. And yes, she does do the rich girl laugh, and it does crack me up. Also, in the English dub, her voice actress is one of the voice actresses in the English dub of the hentai A Time to Screw, and you absolutely need to watch the hentai A Time to Screw in English specifically, because it is comedy gold. What did Jennifer Lawrence do? I don't know shit about Jennifer Lawrence. I don't know real people. I only fuck with cartoon characters. Oh my god. Cat, get off of that. I don't need you knocking shit over while I try to clean the living room. My roommate and I have been working on cleaning the living room, and right now everything's kind of in a precarious pile, and the cats have decided that they're gonna climb it like it's a fucking mountain, and it's a bad idea for them. They're going to fall and hurt themselves. You're going to hurt yourself. Get down. I love cats, but they're not smart. Is that the one where the guy asks if you've tried to fuck a box? Yes. Yes, that is the one where the guy asks if you've tried to fuck a box. But yeah, the English dub of it specifically is really funny. God. Anyway, the English dub of it is really funny because I'll just use regular Kira. Or regular Kira, not Kira. They kind of do the ghost stories thing where they were like, fuck it, we're just gonna make up the translation. And like, mind you, I have a lot of issues with a lot of the things going on with the realm of English localization for anime and video games these days. But the difference for me is that things like the English dub of Ghost Stories or the English dub of A Time to Screw are not trying to claim that they're accurate translations. They're fully embracing the fact that they are just doing whatever the fuck they want for the fun of it. They aren't trying to pass it off as, no, you guys, this is a proper translation. I have to make these changes because Japanese is so different from English. They're just like, no, I have to add a joke about how this boy is trying to bully this other boy into running faster by threatening him by claiming, imagine that a big black man is chasing you. Like, they're not trying to pretend that this is a more accurate translation. They're just like, we're having fun. And I'm like, you know what? As long as you're being honest about what you're doing, I can respect that. I mean, as long as you're being honest and the thing you produce is actually funny. Like, as long as there's something about it that is actually making me laugh, then I'll excuse it. Jennifer Lawrence is coming for your cat. She better not. I don't know what she plans to do, but she better not touch my cat. Nothing's non-fat. That's why the world is going to explode one day. Low fat? Exploding world? What the fuck? Is he crazy? There's so many good moments in the A Time to Screw dub. Yeah, Yuna's out of MP, so we should probably go to the save point again. Speaking of ghost stories, did you know? I did know that there was a more accurate dub. I've not watched it, but the thing is, I actually have watched ghost stories in Japanese. In one way, dubs like that are like dialogue in porn video. Honestly, yeah. I think that's why I'm able to put up with it more, because I know I'm not supposed to be taking it seriously. On that subject, I think the Utena dub is fine if aged kind of poorly. If anything, I really like Rachel Lillis's performance as Utena. I agree. The thing about the Utena dub, I have a lot of opinions about the Utena dub. Should have left you in that sidewalk, but you didn't. God, I love that video. It's so good. Okay, first of all, on the topic of Riku, why the fuck are you facing that way? Anyway, on the topic of ghost stories, dub more accurate, blah, 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 blah. Technically, I did actually watch some of Ghost Stories in Japanese before I watched the dub, because I actually had, this was back in the day, a friend had burned a CD of a bunch of fan subbed anime, and a couple episodes of Ghost Stories were on it. This was before the anime actually got an English dub. And I watched it, and the thing is, I didn't hate it. I actually kind of liked it because I like ghost stories. Not as in the show Ghost Stories, but like I just like ghost stories. So like an anime about people, you know, fighting against random ghosts every week, you know, that's not wholly unappealing to me. You know, like there's a reason for me to enjoy something like that. I already like the subject matter. Um so sometimes I'll watch ghost stories in Japanese just cuz like I like the core premise already. Like yeah, the show wasn't wildly successful, but I don't hate the show as it is. I actually kind of like it. But the English dub is a fun companion piece, and I do watch the English dub more than I watch the Japanese version, if I'm honest. But despite that, I don't like the story that people like to tell about it, where they're like, oh, the whole reason why the dub ended up this way is because the original sucked so bad. Because it's not that the original sucked. The original didn't suck. The original is not bad. The original is quite enjoyable, in my opinion. It just ended up the way it did because it wasn't like this mega successful thing, and so the people who owned it weren't super protective of its brand when it got localized, so they weren't as bothered by the English dub changing things. Like, and a lot of the people who worked for ADV at the time were not really that big of fans of anime. They just kind of wanted to do their own thing, but they didn't have any outlet for their creative expression. It's a lot of the same situation with a lot of English localizations these days, but at least back then they were a bit more honest about what was going on. So because it was something that wasn't being as closely protected, they went a little hog wild with it, and they were able to get away with it because the IP holders didn't care as much. And I enjoy the English dub we got, but for me a big part of why I enjoy it is because when I, buy a box set of Ghost Stories, which I do own the box set of Ghost Stories, it comes with the original Japanese version with subtitles. So when I want the more authentic experience, I can just put that on. When I want the silly gag dub, I can watch that. But when I want to watch the actual anime Ghost Stories, that option is still available to me. So that's what I tend to do. Don't tell me the Silent Hill fan likes Ghost Stories. I know, shocker, right? Namely Stephen motherfucking Foster. Honestly, I think that's another big part of why I am able to enjoy the Ghost Stories dub, but can't get behind a lot of the stuff that's happening with English anime localization these days, is that, like, the guy who made the script changes to the English dub of Ghost Stories, he filled it with a lot of like the exact kinds of edgy humor that the people who are doing the localizations of anime these days would absolutely not do. And their whole reason for not doing it is because they're like, well, we're progressives, we're leftists, we're feminists, we're trying to enact all of this good social change in the world. And so we would never, you know, we would never put these kinds of edgy jokes in here because these are bad. But the thing is, the guy who did the localized script for Ghost Stories was all of those things as well. He just came from an era where you could be all of those things and still have an edgy sense of humor. That's why mixed in with all of the edgy jokes, there are also jokes about like Republicans are awful. And, you know, our president is a Republican and that's why there's so many problems in our country and blah, 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 all these other things. And that was just kind of the norm for liberal humor at the time, is that liberals at the time liked edgy humor. And, you know, I'm very much from that generation as well. I'm not as old as him, but like, you know, I remember growing up with shows like Drawn Together and like the early seasons of South Park and the early seasons of what's it called, Family Guy. And all these shows were made by people who lean politically left, but they had an edgy sense of humor because at the time that was normal, that was acceptable within leftist circles, because we saw the push for political correctness as something that was conservative. So we did not like that. So a lot of the trends in more modern quote unquote liberal humor to me are just not funny. They're very neutered and placid, and I don't find them funny 90% of the time. Those Who Hunt Elves dub was the same way. The dub is wildly inaccurate, but it's funny and it's obvious the actors were having fun. It's because it was the same people. Same people who did the dub for Those Who Hunt Elves is the same people who did the dub for Ghost Stories. So that's why. The Momoko lines about staking the Supreme Court definitely has not aged the best. Now it's just depressing. Yeah. But like that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, for as much as the dub joked about things that like modern anime localizers would be like, oh, we can't put that in, that's punching down, we can't put that joke in, that's punching down. But then it had jokes like that about, you know, how, oh, well, Republicans are shady and bad, and they're manipulating things like the Supreme Court in order to, you know, ban abortion and, you know, ban gay marriage and all this other stuff. And we should, you know, be fighting back against that. And that's something that I feel like, ironically, for as much as people like to talk about how important media literacy and critical thinking are these days, they're much worse at both of those things than they used to be. Because, like, it used to be that you could make something like the English dub of Ghost Stories or Drawn Together and stuff like that, and you could have jokes in it, and you could rely on your audience to be able to tell which jokes are reflective of your political beliefs and which ones are just there to be shocking. And I feel like people have lost the ability to differentiate between the two, and that's where this idea has come from, that like, if you're a leftist, you're not allowed to joke about certain topics, because we've literally forgotten how to... Oh shit. I was gonna fix that. But looks like we're not gonna fix that. Let's try to end this battle quickly, shall we? But anyway, yeah. I feel like that's a big problem with a lot of younger people these days, is they cannot tell when someone I don't know how to say this in a polite way, but it's like they're really bad at reading sarcasm, they're really bad at reading irony, they're really bad at, you know, they're very bad at media literacy. They're very bad at critical thinking. They're very bad at being able to tell what a person is trying to say. They focus way too much on the words the person is using and not what they're saying with those words, and ignoring, I guess I shouldn't say ignoring, because ignoring implies they're doing it intentionally. I don't think they're doing it intentionally. I think they're just kind of dumb. But we sniffing Riku's powder tonight. But like, they just aren't good at being able to tell when someone is just saying something for shock value and when it's something that is actually reflective of what they believe, even though there are tells. If you know what to look for, you can tell. And admittedly, it is harder when you're on the internet and things are text-based. But when it's not that, like when it's, for one thing, when it's a piece of fiction, like a TV show or something, but especially when it's, you know, when there's dialogue, you know, when there's actual speaking involved, or when it's happening in real life, there's ways to tell. And it's just, it's weird to me comparing my interactions with people who are my age and who share most of my political beliefs, and then I compare them to the way people act on the internet. People, in particular, like people on Twitter and YouTube and in anime and video game circles and stuff like that, who claim to be the face of, you know, people who are leftist, or people who vote Democrat, people who, you know, are liberal, people who, you know, want to enact positive social change for, you know, minority people and women and like LGBT people and racial minorities and stuff like that, and like people who are living below poverty, and, you know, people who are suffering under oppressive American capitalism and global capitalism and all this stuff, and comparing the people I know in real life who are around my age who hold those beliefs, and comparing them to the people in those online circles, many of whom are much, much younger. And it makes me scared for the future, because I feel like the future of the left is in the hands of people who do not have a very good grasp on the ability to read other people's intentions or motives. And I feel like nothing exemplifies that quite as well as the fact that I know I'm talking about a lot of very heavy subjects today. For some fucking reason, I have decided today is the day to ruin my entire online career, I guess. But I feel like nothing exemplifies that more than, like, should I talk about it? I mean, probably, I'm gonna talk about it just because I feel like it would seem even worse if I just leave it hanging rather than, like, actually say what I'm trying to get at. The fact that someone like J.K. Rowling can be, you know, the bigot that she can be as transphobic as she is, and yet for such a long time she was one of the people who, like, these young liberal people idolized on social media, on, like, Tumblr and Twitter and stuff like that, because they weren't paying attention to what she was actually saying. They were paying attention to the words she was using to say them. And because all the words she was using sounded right, they were all technically the right terms, and she was stringing them together in mostly the right way. So if you didn't analyze things too much, you wouldn't catch on to the fact that, yeah, she might be a feminist, but she's a certain kind of feminist. A certain kind of feminist that thinks that the word woman is defined a very specific way. And I feel like that kind of demonstrates why young liberals really need to work on their ability to read people better and get better at figuring out when someone is being serious, when someone is being facetious, when someone is, you know, trying to hide what their actual intentions are behind using the right flowery terminology to get you on their side and stuff like that. I'm sorry for talking about very serious topics. That was not my intention. But that's kind of what I don't know, that's what I'm trying to get at. Because, like, it's very easy to look at something like, very easy to look at a show like, I really like the show Drawn Together. And I know a lot of more left-leaning people, and in particularly a lot of gay people who are around my age, really like Drawn Together. And the reason we really like Drawn Together is because Drawn Together was a show that was, despite its comedy, was very LGBT positive. And like, yeah, it's very easy to not see that if you are not analyzing things and not really paying attention. But, like, the show also just straight up spelled out what it was saying when it was being serious about those topics. Like, I don't know. It's, in a way, both sides are very similar. It's easy to sway people with flowery words. It is, yeah. I guess what I'm trying to say is it's important to not jump to conclusions. I realize that's very hard in the modern media landscape of social media, where we're all encouraged to respond first and ask questions later. But not just with J.K. Rowling, but also with the situation with Bayonetta's original voice actor and all the shit that went down with that, where people jumped to a conclusion and then over the next couple of days, not even like a full week, just a few days, it turned out that everyone was operating on a inaccurate story, that she was not telling the truth. It's important to not respond immediately. Wait for more information to come out. Wait until you have a better understanding of like what's actually going on. Take the time to actually analyze what people are saying instead of just going off of your immediate reaction. Take things in context. Take them in context. Do not separate them from the context. Even if they're presented to you out of context, go find the context and put it back in context before you come to a conclusion. And like, just try to analyze things before you come to a conclusion, because this is unfortunately true of all people. Once people come to a conclusion, it's very hard for them to change their mind, even when deep down they know they're wrong. So it's better to just don't respond immediately. Give yourself time to figure things out first. Give yourself time to analyze the information and come to a conclusion once you actually have the information. Do not come to a conclusion before you have the information. Bit difficult to do that when most interaction these days are text-based and sometimes designed to spark rage in people. Twitter does not help and will help with that, but we just gotta deal and grow. Yeah. It's not just that a lot of things are text-based, because like the internet's kind of always been text-based, but it's that things are text-based and it's expected that like everything's going to be immediate and everything's going to be short. It's like you have to respond immediately. You have a limited amount of characters to respond, and rather than having a bunch of different websites dedicated to discussing different topics, everything is relegated to a small number of websites where everything is going on. Everything is happening on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube and TikTok, and that's it. No one goes to different websites to discuss different things. Everything is happening on those same websites. The TV shows you're watching, the porn you're looking at, your politics, your hobbies, but your real life, your home address, like everyone is putting everything on the same stage and representing all of it in very small, not even remotely nuanced text posts, and everyone is encouraged to respond immediately. And it's bad format. It's not good. It's really not good. It's a bad way to structure the internet. We need to go back to the old days of dedicated websites and forums, dedicated to specific topics, where everything has to go slow and you're encouraged to write more in order to explain yourself, and you're encouraged to read more in order to understand. We need to get back to that. We need to get back to there being some level of reading comprehension and media comprehension in general. But we should probably change the topic, because I don't know. I don't want to dwell on it too much. It'll just bum me out, because I know I can say this is what we need to do, you know, but I don't really have the power to change any of that, so all I'm gonna do is stress myself out, so not really worth thinking about too much, I guess. Encouraged to snap your ideas out, yeah, otherwise most likely we'll just get a I ain't reading that. Yeah. I wonder if we're actually strong enough to take him on now. Because we are a couple levels higher now. And we now have 2 people who know Esuna. So... Should we try taking him on again? Okay, we're gonna try fighting him again. Yuna, jump. And if we don't succeed, we can just go back to level grinding, I guess.
誰かと思えばカモメ団の皆さんですか。言わなくてもわかりますよ。あなたのことだ。スピラを脅かすベグナガン。
Semi-unrelated tangent. Talking about old internet forum structure reminded me of the Biz Barkley Snape Wives video again. It's really good, you guys. If also 3 hours long. I have seen that video pop up in my recommendations. I did not watch it because I don't know much about the subject, so I don't know how I would feel about watching a very long video about the subject, but I've heard a few people talking about it since then. So... Did he just not realize Pine was here the whole time or something? Wait, is Snape a Tumblr sexy man? Snape is a proto-Tumblr sexy man. He fits all the criteria of a Tumblr sexy man, but he predates Tumblr, so... Or, I should say his popularity predates Tumblr. God damn it. Yuna, fix everything. Fine. Girl, I'm not even here. I'm an illusion. Okay, you do that, and then also bring her back to life. And then Yuku, you are going to heal Yuna so that she can do all that and not die. And now... God... I guess there's no point in leaving Riku as a white mage if she doesn't have any MP anymore, so I guess you're gonna be another attacker, and hopefully he won't steal Yuna's MP. Otherwise, we're gonna have to start relying on items. She's gonna run out of MP anyway, just because arrays take so much MP. Oh, did we win? Oh, he doesn't have a lot of health. He's a glass cannon. Okay. Okay. Strange Aeon even did a video about that topic. I think Strange Aeon's video is the one that I saw showing up in my recommendations. But like I said, I didn't know enough about the topic of Snape wives to know if I wanted to watch the video, so I didn't. Thank you, Windows, for very loudly giving me a notification. Character from afar also reminds me of another character, but I can't remember who. I'm pretty sure you just lost it because your ass froze last turn. Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying, is that, like, he's able to do a pretty decent amount of damage and stop you from being able to move, which allows him to kill you, but he doesn't have a lot of health, so as long as you can prevent that from happening, you can beat him pretty easily. Sorry, hiccup. Everyone's health and MP are good. So. Yo, Illuminati. There's a lot of Illuminati imagery in JRPGs when it comes to their enemies. Illuminati, Gnosticism. Is this where that machine you keep seeing is? This is where it's supposed to be, but it's not here anymore. And that's part of the issue, is that we were coming here because of that machine. We were coming here because of that machine, but the machine is missing. And not only is the machine missing, but there's fireflies here. So there's something weird going on. And we're going to figure out what that weird thing is. What did you do to Yuna? Did you curse her? I still don't know what curse does in this one, because it's different in every game. Because the Final Fantasy games have never been consistent. You didn't get the joke? Yeah, literally didn't, and still don't. Even knowing that there was a joke now, I still don't get it. What did I miss? I like this battle. Don't you dare. God damn it. Oh, that's right. Curse makes it so I can't change my job. I hope Shell is enough to protect me from, Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, thank God. Does Shell prevent how much we heal? Or lower how much we heal? Because that is annoying if that is the case. Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to start using the actual healing spells. Because we're not healing as much as we were. Oh, especially now. Everyone keep healing. Okay, hopefully that should be good. That should keep us healthy. Bad dragon, how dare you? Literally, how dare you? At least we're not doing too bad. Thankfully, his Mega Flare does not do as much damage as I thought it was going to do. He has gotten much weaker in the time since he was our summon, apparently. What's wrong with Bad Dragon? I suppose nothing, as long as you don't mind your anus being a square or some other ungodly shape. Stop using impulse, you bastard. This design would have a lot of segments. Your your prostrate will be eliminated. That's horrible. 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 Prostrate. Roastate, I guess. Thanks, YouTube. I use Brostate from now on. It's so... It's... But why? Why? Is prostate not masculine enough? The whole thing about the prostate is that cis women don't have them. So I would assume that they would be considered very masculine. I don't see why you would need to change it to brostate. Whatever. Anyway, we beat Bahamut. I think YouTube sent... Oh, does it? Does it censor prostate? No, it looks like it doesn't censor it. You're good. I think it's because the word prostate is considered very medical, so YouTube doesn't care all that much. There's not exactly like a sexy term for a prostate, you know? It's literally just the name of the organ. Sometimes it censors bone. Yeah, On the topic of, hating the modern state of the internet, I hate that literally everything is the 2005 era Neopets forum now. But impulse is up the ass indeed. How dare you call us omaitachi? Oh no. What's going on? Aniki, what's going on? I should shove the rest of this dildo up my... You don't put anything up your prostate. Sir? You don't put anything into your prostate. That's not what a prostate is. It's not just another word for the anus. Theme things on the internet. I have to.
SOS どうするカモメ団出動か
スフィアハンターの仕事じゃないし
まあなでもユーナが立ち上がったらみんな安心するぞ
そしてユーナ任せだ
それでもユーナじっとしてられるあ、そうだお助けやカモメ団ってどうかな
魔物を退治して金を取るってことかおえまみみ
どう思う
そうだね自力で何とかできない人たちのお手伝いならいいかなじゃあスフィアハンターは休業お助けやカモメ団
決定どこ行くちょっと待ったまたよくわかんねえが青年同盟の名手ヌージ
Aniki, what are you spazzing about?
姿を消しちまったらしいなるほどよしほっとけお助けやカモメ団うんどこ行く
What's up with your face? That is a question we have to ask Aniki all the time, because his face is just always like that. Okay, but we can go to other places, right? We don't have to go to these two places. We can go to these other places, and we're gonna do those other places first. So... I guess let's go to Luca for now. Is it finally time for us to do Sphere Break? I think it's finally time for us to do Sphere Break now.
ここには魔物は出てないそうだ。お助け屋の出番なしだな。スフィアなんとかの大会だってんで、みんな浮かれてるぞ。
スフィアブレイク出てみたら優勝し
Takes the meaning of the word fish face to a new...
私練習してきたよ
His face is so weird. To be fair, everyone's like low poly face is weird, and he just suffers because he, like a lot of other quote-unquote less important characters, does not have a high poly face. He's just stuck using the low poly one all the time.
今ルカで話題騒然のゲームスフィアブレイクその腕を競う大会がいよいよ開催されます
He doesn't blink. I think a lot of the low poly faces never blink. Oh no, she blinks. I have 3 identical women all trying to have sex with me right now. That means I'm very important and you should also listen to my opinions. Osp coin. Oh, they're just giving us all the... Sphere break. The sphere is your prostate. God damn it. Honestly, let's see. Is there a sphere around here we can save at? Because I have a feeling... Isn't there one in here? Sphere. Save sphere. There you are. Alright, should be able to bring the tutorial back up if I talk to him. I am a bit concerned that when I talk to him that I may not be able to extract the text properly in order to read the tutorial, which would suck. Because I could just look the tutorial up in English, but that would really defeat the purpose of playing the game in Japanese. Because the whole point of playing the game in Japanese is to try to read in Japanese. Sphere Break no sekai e yokoso. Sphere Break to wa... Sphere Break. No, go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Oh my god, why are you not going away? Here, okay. Sphere break とは Within a time limit. 制限時間 time limit. Okay. テーブル上の16枚のコインの Okay, well, you got that wrong. That's ba, not pa. Ba. Try that again. No, not ba in hiragana. Ba in katakana. You fool. Namba o kumi. 谷を忘れて Okay, you copied that wrong too, but I can fix that. Okay, so テーブル上のコインのナンバーを組みI have a feeling J Glossator is not translating that word right, because that doesn't seem... Okay. So yeah, 16 coins on the table. Blah, 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 blah. Or sphere. Just trying to make sure these kanji actually copied properly. They did not. Well, the kanji did so far. So, oh boy. Let me try. Wow. Namba. Teberu. Center. No core sphere. Know what a core sphere is? That's English. Core sphere ni hyoji sare. Location, expression, showing, manifestation, demonstration. Samba no. Baisu? Multiple. Otsukuru. Otsukutte iku game desu. Multiples of cards. Feel like it's fair to use a guide. It is, but I also want to learn. But this is also going to be very boring, so I should probably just accept that I'm gonna have to look this shit up. All right, give me a moment. I'm gonna look it up. Final Fantasy 10 to beer break. Is a newly, oh my god, go away advertisement. Sphere Break is a newly established coin game in Final Fantasy X-2 funded by the entrepreneur Albed Rin. The game was designed source of entertainment during Blizzball's off-season. The mechanics are purely mathematical, with the aim to create the most multiples of the core number by combining the number value of the 16 coins in play. To win, the player must meet a predetermined quota of coins used while staying within a set number of turns to use them. The game takes place on a 4x4 board with the core sphere at the center, whose number is called the core number, that ranges from 1 to 9. The 4 fields around the core sphere are reserved for the entry coins. The border coins are the 12 outer fields. Each coin is numbered from 1 to 9. The objective is to combine these numbers to achieve multiples of the core number. During the game, the following details will appear at the top of the screen. Sum shows the current combined sum of the coins selected. Break multiples lists 3 multiples of the core number that the player must strive for. Okay, so it does straight up tell me what the multiples are that I need. So following details will appear. At the start of each round, one of the 4 entry coins must be selected first. The player is then free to select another coin from either the entry or the border coin field. If the combined sum matches one of the break multiples, this is called a core break, which ends the round. If not, then the player may continue selecting coins until their combined sum equals one of the break multiples displayed. To win, the player must have used up a set quota of border coins within a set number of rounds. If the player reaches the quota before reaching the maximum number of rounds, the player wins. If they do not reach the quota, or if they run out of time, the player loses. In the case of a defeat, the player will lose their entry coin to the opponent. An HD remaster version, winning 10 Sphere Break matches will unlock the Sphere Breaker trophy. I don't give a shit about that. Well, echo traits allow the player to obtain bonus quota points. To initiate an echo, the player must not only select an entry coin with the trait, but also maintain a set play pattern. When entry echo, the same number of coins must be used in successive rounds to achieve a core break, i.e. 3 coins were used in round 1, 3 coins were used in round 2, etc. Multiplier echo core break must be achieved using the same... Oh my god. Well... Okay. See, I told you. Yeah, I always forget the rules of this game every time I play it. Okay. So, like every other time that I've ever had to play Sphere Break, we're going to be lame about it, and we're going to save scum, because... I'm not great at this game, and it's also not all that fun, to be honest. Is this one of those things where I can just play it with anyone who's in this town? I don't think I can just play it with anyone. Do I have to talk to Rin and like enter a contest or something? I can't remember. I think it is a contest though. Because doesn't it happen in the arena? Do I have to tell him that I'm ready? No, talking to him isn't doing anything. And her isn't doing anything. None of these people seem to be doing anything. What is this doing here? Apparently nothing. Alright. Let's see. Do I talk to you? No. Do I talk to you? No. Damn it. I don't remember what I'm supposed to do to get started, though. Oh, are you okay, sir? Sir? Oh, your head should not move like that. Minawa. Minawa. Kai Kai. Ni san ka. Okay, everyone is participating in the tournament. Watashi wa ii desu. What? Ii desu. 子供にフォロー。Boro. Did not copy that properly. Why is it? Seems like it's doing a better job of copying kanji than it is hiragana and katakana. It keeps fucking up with Boro Make. Boro Make? Decisive defeat. Okay, so you lost really bad to a kid. Okay, that makes sense. That is a weird word. I've never seen a Japanese word structured like that, where it's hiragana, katakana, and kanji all in one word. That is... that's new. But, well, I learned something new. Apparently that's a thing that can happen. I did not know that, you could have hiragana, katakana, and kanji all in one word at the same time. Can't go in any of these doors. Okay, but how do I enter the contest? That's what I want to know. The brat is really strong. The brat. Okay. I think he's talking about, Is it Tobly who we have to fight? But Rin-san no. Okay, what are you saying about Rin? Rin-san no Omowakudo. That doesn't help me, lady. That doesn't tell me where I'm supposed to go. Aha! I found someone who I can actually fight. I guess I just have to talk to everyone. 2-star difficulty? I guess it's time to start doing this. Let's see how this goes. Okay. My bet is on the lady. It should be. Not good at doing math quickly. Um. Shit. Shit. I think I fucked that up. I lost. Yeah. Let's try that again. I can't reset the game from here, can I? I would have to close the whole game and start all over. What just happened? We lost. Because math is hard. Alright. Try this. I'm gonna try fighting that lady one more time. Give me a moment. You're supposed to pop up automatically. I shouldn't have to. There we go. Kind of weird that I had to reopen the launcher, because usually the launcher comes up automatically when I close the game. Okay, I have a... Why is a lot of the text in English? Is it? Guess I wasn't paying attention. Well, that is in English. Yeah, now that I mentioned, a lot of it is in English. I don't know. They do use a lot of English in Japanese. Japanese is weird. It's a confusing language. Okay, so the very first one is how many turns I have. So I have 15 turns, and I need to get 20. So... Okay, 3. Okay. Wait. I'm dumb. Damn it. Okay. I'm gonna say that we're gonna have to end the stream for today, because Sphere Break is hard on my brain, y'all. So we will continue this another time, but unfortunately we're gonna have to quit for now. So, but until next week, I bid you all adieu. Bye-bye.